Hi everybody, it is Max. Macintosh is back again for another video. This week's video is another build a house that I saw while driving on the street video. And this one is one of my favorites, honestly. It was very difficult to build, but it ended up turning out really nice and I really enjoyed this. I'm pretty sure it uses quite a bit of packs, so I'm sorry about that. Some of them might not use very many items, so if you want to download this build, you can just check to see how many items I used. Like, some of them I might have used, like, one thing. Like, for Get to Work, I think I used a plant and maybe a couch. I don't know if there was more, but, like, if it's something like that, you could easily replace it if you wanted. Sorry that it used so many packs. I just knew it was going to be a doozy because it was going to take so long, so I didn't restrict myself. I didn't make a base game or anything, but I think it was worth it because it looked really nice, and I got to use the nice Tudor style stuff from Get Together, and I think it made it look really neato. But before I get too far into this video, I would like to remind everyone that if you would like to download this build, I have uploaded it to the gallery. My username on there is Macintoshes, spelled the same way as here on YouTube. You can search for it yourself that way. I think it's called Tudor Mansion, perhaps, or if that's too difficult, I know I suck at searching for stuff on the gallery. So there will also be a link in the description to this build if that's an easier way for you to download it. Now back to the build. So, yeah, this was a house that I saw that I drive past a lot going to work. And I think it's really neato, and I really liked it. And I always thought, hey, this would be really fun to build in The Sims, but I never got around to it because it's kind of a big house, and I knew it would take me forever. I think this took me like 7 hours to build. 7 hours is generally more time than I want to spend on a build. I usually like to cap it at 3 or 4 hours, but this one just was not cutting it. It was a lot more difficult than normal because I was more detail than normal. You know, it's not my typical blue suburban base game house. It had a lot of working parts, and there's some diagonal bits here, as you can see, in the roofing, which was so difficult. I'm pretty sure I cut a lot of it out because I had to fiddle with it so much. I think I ended up just changing the shape of the house slightly so the roof wasn't so weird because it just wouldn't fit right. So then there was like flat pieces that were exposed, and I couldn't get it to fit the roof properly on it, and it was just a whole mess. But it ended up looking pretty good in the end. You can see me fiddling with it here. I think I end up adding like an octagonal piece up there, yeah. And then there was still a teeny bit exposed, and for the life of me could not figure out how to get rid of it. As you can see kind of right there, it's like a little smidge, it's like not even a whole tile. So I think I just ended up painting it black and then called it a good, because I like the roof besides that itty bitty thing, so I just embraced it, and no one's gonna look, like, no one cares. And now you can see me messing with the front stairwell here. So this house in real life has diagonal stairs going up to the front door, but we don't have diagonal stairs in the game. So I was like, what am I gonna do? So I tried to raise it up on a foundation and then put the platforms next to it to create some stairs. But then I remembered / figured out that you cannot do platforms and foundation next to each other. So then I had to turn the foundation into just a platform, so then the platforms could be next to the platform that was really just the foundation. And then that created some problems inside because the platform tool is such a mess. It like ruins everything and makes you like redo all your work all the time. And then I tried to mess with terrain to fix that, but then it wasn't working. And it was just a whole freaking mess. So I ended up having different levels in this house just because I couldn't deal with the platforms and the terrain differences at the same time. But it all worked out in the end because I think forcing me to do this different levels actually made the house look cooler. And as I do a lot, I got into this house and I was like, this is kind of too big for my liking. So it's just kind of big. It's not bad, but I had to think a lot more about it than just, a normal sized house, because I know how to furnish a normal sized house, but the large house I do not. I wasn't sure where I wanted to put the living room at first, but then I ended up just putting it kind of in the middle right by the front door, because I figured in the way back I'd want that to be the kitchen because there's a door over there where like the driveway comes in, and I figured that would be handy to bring in groceries. So I wanted to put the kitchen back there. And then I know in the weird room that's like octagonal or hexagon, I don't know how many sides, I know I wanted that to be an office, and then there was a space next to it that I figured could be a good bathroom. So there was like that weird space off to the right of the front door, as you can see me start to mess with getting stairs down into that lower platform room. And I was like, I don't think I want the living room there because it's not that big, and then why would I have the bedroom in the middle of the floor plan? So that's how we ended up with the living room just being out in the open in the front there, and this being a bedroom. And I put these little platform stair things in there. I thought that was kind of neato. I don't know. Something different, and I like different. It's quite good. And then I work on the back porch a little bit. This was just because I didn't know what the back of the house looked like, but I wanted something interesting back there, not just a flat wall. So I created this porch thing. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but I think it's pretty nice still. And I kind of used the same rounded roof that I used in the front to kind of tie it all together. And I think it turned out pretty neato. There is a lot of landscaping slash outside bits of this video because it took me so long. I was gonna edit more of it out because it's kind of a long video, but I just love this house so much that I didn't want to cut it out. Like, personally, for me, I want to see all the working bits that I did on this house in the future, so I didn't cut much out unless it was like back and forth. I couldn't make a decision, or how the roof was a mess, and I didn't even want to watch that because you gotta make sure it's interesting. So if I was watching it back and I was like, I don't want to watch me fiddle with the roof for 10 minutes, I figured nobody on YouTube's gonna want to watch me fiddle with the roof for 10 minutes. So we cut that out, but I left a lot of it in. And originally I was gonna make the outside like all of the seasons wallpapers and whatnot, and the brick or stone I think, that comes with that pack. But then I came across the get together stuff, and I was like, hey, I never use this. I think it might be neat. So that's how I ended up on that. I still use a little bit of the seasons siding, but a lot of it is the get together stuff, as you can see here in the front. And I end up using these walls to act as columns because I didn't like any of the columns really, and it just, none of them fit the vibe, and I figured the walls were better because they were as big as I imagined the actual columns being, and then I could put like the stone on it to match directly. So I ended up with that, and I think it looks really cool. And there's a lot of different wallpapers on the side of the house. I think there's seasoned siding, some stone from Get Together, that paneling Tudor stuff from Get Together. I don't know if it's paneling, but you know, that the designy stuff. And I think that's it. So I use Get Together and Seasons a lot on the outside and in the build in general, to be honest. If you need any packs for sure in this house, you definitely need Get Together and Seasons. I think there's a couple others that I used a lot of, but I can't remember right now. Maybe Cats and Dogs. I think the kitchen is Jungle Adventure, so Jungle Adventure is probably kind of important, unless you want to replace the whole kitchen. But definitely Get Together in Seasons. Some of my favorite packs. Do quite like those. And right now you can just see me fiddling with the wallpaper on the outside. It was quite the process trying to figure out what I wanted and what looked interesting. And I find it so funny doing the wallpaper on these houses in the game, because like in real life, houses are like one thing. Like my house is just all the same siding. There's not differences to make it more interesting. It's just boring because it's a real life house, no one cares. But in The Sims, I hate that. So I always like put a lot of wallpapers when I'm trying to make it super interesting. But it's funny how that never happens in real life. Or at least not where I am. I've never seen a house be this wild. The most I've seen is like a few brick accents, but nothing like this. So I thought that made it more interesting, made me like it even more. And I showed my mom this one, like I do sometimes, because she thinks I'm like talented or something. And she really liked this one, which I thought was neat. And I showed it to a few other people, and they're like, wow, this looks like this house on the southeast side. And I was like, Wow, that's funny because I based this off a house from the southeast side. So I guess I did a good job because he knew exactly what house I was talking about, which is quite strange that he had driven past this house because it's not necessarily on a main road. But apparently it's main enough because he knew what house I was talking about, which I thought was fun. And you can see I put some bushes around the outside to act as a fence, only because I wanted a little more space and you can't put the fences on the very barrier of the lot. And also, it's a little more interesting to have half actual fence, half plants, or at least I think so. And then I start to add the windows, which was quite difficult because, like, on the first floor, some of it's medium wall height and some is not technically because of the platform. It makes it seem like it's a shorter wall, even though it is medium wall height the whole way around. But I used mostly season windows. Oh, is that a get together window on the side here? So there's another thing. I really like that window. I probably didn't need to use that window, but I really like the shape and I wanted to use it, so I did. Sorry about that. But most of the windows are seasons, so you're good as long as you have seasons, to be honest. And I just was trying to place in them where I thought looked good from the outside, but then also made sense from the inside. I don't know, maybe I added too many. It's always so hard to tell. Because, like, in real life, I feel like they don't care if it looks ugly from the outside. They just put windows where it makes sense. It's like, oh, you have a bedroom here, put the windows here. There's only so many places it can go. But then it kind of looks ugly on the outside sometimes, and I was trying to avoid that as much as possible, and I think it turned out alright. Oh, and that reminds me, I use this laundry day window that's a medium wall height, and I like never use that window because I never use medium wall height, but it's such a nice window. I'm so excited to use that. It was so good. And it's in the kitchen, so you can really see it and embrace it and enjoy it. And then one of the big things on the landscaping is I put a little pond pool thing out front here in the middle of the driveway. I didn't really know what else to put because I thought about putting a tree, but then I was like, that's gonna block the house. And I spent so much time on it, I want to be able to see the house in the screenshots. So I put a little pond thing, and I think I left one little area open for them to swim in. Unless they need a ladder, because I didn't put a ladder. I don't know, you can add a ladder. But anyways, I added this for interest. I thought it would be more interesting to look at, and also, technically, it gives your Sims a pool to play in, which is fun. I like pools, I like swimming, and I'm sure all the Sims will enjoy it as well. And as you can see, I added a lot of flowers, and then I got to the end, and I was like, that's a bit overkill. So I added some rocks in, took out some flowers, added some rocks, and I think it looks good. Obviously I kept it, so it must look good enough. That's kind of my thing, huh? Too many flowers is kind of my brand, it seems like. But I think it's really pretty, and that's all that matters, that I like it, right? I mean, obviously I want other people to like it, but I should enjoy it and like it because I'm building it, you know? Anyways, what else is there to talk about? I can't remember. Last night I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about in this voiceover, because I like to have a bit of a game plan, so I kind of know what to say, because I'm not good at talking. I don't really enjoy talking, I'm kind of quiet. So I was thinking about it last night, and I had this whole plan of what I was gonna do, and I was like, I don't need to write it down, I'll remember. And now here we are today, and I cannot remember what I was going to talk about. Not even a little bit, not even a smidgen of remembrance. Maybe it'll come back to me, and then I'll mention it. But we're finishing up the outside now, I think. I think we're almost done. I ended up not putting anything on the front porch, because I kind of think screenshots look weird when there's stuff on the front porch, or at least the way I take them. I might just be bad at taking screenshots. I'd believe that if that was the problem. But also, it's like, if I put a bench out there, they're never gonna sit on it anyway, so why even bother? So I just left it out and figured they'll sit inside, or the back patio has a table, so they'll sit there. You know, recently, I don't know why, but I've really wanted to make a video ranking the expansions. I know I said that ages ago and I never did, but I just started thinking about them last night, because apparently that's what I do when I can't sleep, and I just think it might be fun, because, I don't know, unwanted opinion, I guess. It's kind of annoying, but it's kind of fun. I feel like people always look for others to tell them how a pack is. That makes sense. I know before I bought a lot of the packs, that's all I did was Google or YouTube reviews of these packs. Obviously, you don't necessarily trust everyone's opinion because they might play differently than you. Or, like, personally, I like to watch smaller creators' reviews because I feel like they're more honest. And I'm teeny tiny, so I thought I might be one of those trusted small creators that someone would turn to when looking to buy a pack. And I don't know if I would do all of them necessarily at once. That seems like a long video. But I could always just split it up and do expansions or game packs or stuff packs. The only problem with this little plan of mine is I don't know what I would use for video footage. Like, I feel like I would just want to use footage of me maybe taking some of the build and buy items out and showing them off, and ones I like and ones I don't like. But I feel like when I watch them, they're always using, like, trailer footage. But I don't know if I'd want that. But is that the best way to go about it? I don't know. We'll figure it out probably, because I really want to try it out. And if I do one and then I ended up not liking the video, I mean, at least I tried. Or I can say I tried. Also, apologies if you can hear dogs barking. They just started going. I don't know what they're barking at, probably nothing. I don't know if you can even hear it. I don't think you can very much, but I can hear it, so I thought I'd mention it just in case. Poor boy out there. I think he's just lonely, honestly. I don't know why he barks so much. But anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I wanted to rank the packs. I think that might be fun, and especially because, like, some of the packs are definitely better than others, and some don't have much going for them. No spoilers, but kind of a spoiler. Like Island Living, like, I don't even understand what that pack's for. What's it expanding on? Mermaids? How is that expanding? I don't understand that. But Island Living's also really pretty, so lots of things to think about when you rank the packs. But I might try it out. Again, it might just be terrible and you'll never see it. But it's an idea I had. This is what we're about here. Voiceovers are for spewing ideas and rambling about anything. Let's see, what else is there to talk about? This is a long video, and that's tough. That's tough for me. I think we just finished The Office, or we're just finishing it up. I get all out of sorts when I'm recording these voiceovers, and the timing gets mixed up. So spoiler there, I'm not a professional at this. I don't exactly have it down to a T and what to do when recording these, but I try my best, and we get there in the end. And this downstairs bedroom I actually really like. I love this cats and dogs bed. It's so nice, and I like the plain ones without the patterns. And this was a big space down here, so I gave him a bookshelf, tall bookshelf that I never get to use, but I love. And then I added a bit of a seating area. I was gonna use the rocking chairs from Nifty Knitting, but then I decided I don't need to use Nifty Knitting for rocking chairs. That's silly. I'll just use the matching cats and dogs chairs. And then in the corner I put that plant from Dine Out, one of the best plants in the game, to be honest. And I used that newly patched in base game object. It's like a pot, or yeah, a pot for a plant. I'm not sure what it's actually for, but I always use that to have a unique base for a plant. I think it's fun. I've been doing it a lot lately. I really enjoy it. And yeah, this room's very blue, because blue I feel like is my go-to color scheme. So that's what we did, but I still think it looks nice. Is it overkill? I don't know. Curtains don't match either, but that's how it be. I tried to put curtains in this build again, even though I hate curtains, but I did it for the screenshots. Although, I think I actually forgot them in the living room. But that's okay. It makes me a real person when I forget to put curtains somewhere. It's like when people forget to put trash cans in their houses, like I do all the time. Usually I have a trash can on the lot, but sometimes I forget to put one inside, and I don't know why. I wish we had the trash compactors like we had in The Sims 3 so I could just put it in a counter. That would be way more convenient. But, yes. And there was a lot of open space here. I wasn't sure what to do, so I put some knickknacks by the front door, backpack, umbrella stand, put a clock, put a little music area, because I like to do music skills in the game. I think that's fun. But I just kind of left some of it open. More walkway. I mean, if you're in a mansion, they probably have a lot of open space. Probably. I don't know. I don't have a mansion or a lot of money or anything. I have a little house with no space, so can't relate. But yeah, and then here we get down into the dining area, and I put a little music thing down there. What are those called? Stereos? Yes. And then we have this nice dining table with these chairs from Cats and Dogs, I think. I love these chairs so much. It's exactly my style. There's a lot of cats and dogs in this house, actually, huh? So you probably need cats and dogs if you're playing in this house as well. And then we move on to the kitchen. When we start off, I used the base game counters, but I just always use them, and so I wanted to mix it up, so I changed them to the Jungle Adventure counters. I kind of took out a lot in the kitchen because I fiddled back and forth so much with what I wanted, so I just cut it out. It was boring to watch. I promise you didn't want to watch it. And then, because there's all these big windows in here, I had to be a little creative with the kitchen, so I had to put these open shelves in, which is kind of a pain because I feel the urge to fill them with stuff. I feel like it looks weird when it's empty, so then I had to find all these little knickknacks that will slot onto there, and then I remembered that hardly anything slots onto those shelves, so then I had to use move objects to fix everything and get them on the shelves, and it was a whole mess. So cut a lot of that out too, but I figured it's not that interesting to see me put up decorations, and I left the end there so you can see what they end up looking after most of the stuff is placed, which I think is the most important part. Personally, that's what I would enjoy putting in the video more than anything, or watching myself in a video. That's what I meant to say. And yeah, just a few little decorations, and then I think we skedaddle out of here and go upstairs, if I'm not mistaken. And upstairs, I think I cut out the hallway up there. The hallway was just boring, and the video was already so long, so I figured it wouldn't hurt to cut it out. And also, I really wanted to like have an open area around the stairs, like cut away the floor, but with the newest patch that like breaks the stairs and you can't go up there because it doesn't delete the fence. Like the stairs replace the fence, but the game still thinks the fence is there, so then you can't use the stairs. If you've experienced this, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not very good at explaining myself, but I wanted to do that, but I knew it would break the stairs, and I was like, is it worth it? No, because then everyone's going to have to switch it back to this, because it's going to break the stairs, so that's why it's not open. I would have liked it to be more interesting, but that's okay. It kind of made a cute little circle-y bit there to get to all the bedrooms. And as you can see, we made a little gym here. I was going to make another bedroom, but I was like, we're already going to have 4 bedrooms. Do we really need a 5th one? I don't think so. And so I just put a gym in there. But of course, if you needed a 5th bedroom or wanted a 5th bedroom, just delete the gym and put whatever you want in there. If you need like some silly skills that take up a bunch of room, like the robotic station or that one that does logic, it's like for this scientist career. I'm not really sure. That big laser type object that takes up so much room, you could put that in there if you needed it for your gameplay. Customized to your heart's content. Because I know when I download houses off the gallery, I always like refurnish and adjust it for my personal gameplay. I hardly ever just leave it and play it as is. It's never moving ready for me. It could be stunning and beautiful and I love it, but for gameplay it doesn't always work. But I think we're coming up to the end of the video now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If not, well, thanks for watching anyway. If you did enjoy this video, please leave a like, comment something down below, and subscribe for more videos like this. I will see you all in my next video, for whatever that might be. Bye.